Welcome back on Discussion Week as we talk about things I'm interested in, things I'd love to talk about, or the obvious things that are going around in hip hop. And on Discussion Week, we're here to talk about Kanye West's Jesus is King and more on Kanye West because I know he has been a little. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that, but mainly Kanye West's album because it's gonna be a short review because remember there's more that I have to talk about with Kanye West and what he has been talking about. It's a topic that I have to discuss regardless what it is. I mean, it's discussion week. I'm not gonna do just an hour review on discussion week. I mean, it was supposed to be done on Friday, but it didn't come out midnight. It actually came out later than that, and I didn't think it would come out. I actually thought it would come out maybe around December, but yeah, he tricked us once again because he did the same thing with The Life of Pablo. And I'm sorry if you hear noises. I'm in New York, so yeah. Throughout the years of Kanye's work in discography, I really seem to appreciate it more whenever an album comes out. Since the college dropout to the last registration, I'm very happy that I grew up with those albums. And realizing if you're looking back, those are the only two albums that has a connection that they have the similarities of the same sounds. Where it comes to the other projects that previously has he done ever since graduation and continuing on, they have been different. And that's what I love about Kanye West. He's not afraid to have different tools or add different tools into his production and the tracks. I really seem to love and respect Kanye for that. It's progress work, and it's something that I love from an artist that's just wants to do more than what he already could do, and I like that. I really like that a lot, especially in this newer generation where people tend to do the same exact thing. Kanye West is another perfect example of why this generation is, without a doubt, one of the best of hip hop music. Because Kanye West delivered My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, great project. The Life of Pablo was another questionable project at the time, but I really seem to enjoy when I look back to it. And Yeezus, definitely Yeezus. I remember I had an issue with Yeezus, but I look back into it, I was like, this is actually not bad. This is actually similar to the Jesus King album, but of an improvement to the album. As Jesus King, I don't seem to have any issues, and this is where the review starts on Jesus King. Jesus King, the full length of the album is only between 40 minutes and 50. Probably a bit shorter than that because the full length of the album is only 11 tracks. What's a point already for Mr. West? I love albums that are short, so I really appreciate him for doing that. Now, on this album, I checked back since the release on Friday. I heard a few tracks on the album and I wanted to give it a try, right? So I heard half of the album and I really seemed to love it. I really did. So I took a pause, a break for a minute, and went on my PlayStation. I don't know why I bothered to play a game while I'm reviewing an album. That's kind of weird for me to do. I really don't do that, but I just felt like in the mood. So I played the entire album on there, and I was nitpicking, seeing if I would look for something that I really hate or something that would bother me on any sounds or the production or what Kanye West has been saying, and I couldn't get anything. I mean, I know why people dislike the album for its gospel or it's a different sound, and the only reason why you would hate it is because you're not bothering looking for any other newer sounds or tools, or you just prefer one genre, and that one genre is hip hop. And I'm gonna add R&B in that conversation too because R&B lately has been hip hop, so it still counts. So just hip hop. You still prefer that one, especially the newer sounds that's coming out lately. You prefer that than this album, and you don't bother checking out newer music. That's the only reason why you wouldn't like the album. I don't see why you don't like the album because it's I don't know. It's weird, but I would assume that's the only reason why you'd hate the album personally. But personally, me, since I really enjoyed these new creations certain rappers seem to be doing, like Freddie Gibbs, Maxwell Cream, I gotta give it to these guys because it's not the same thing that has been delivered for a while. I really do appreciate that, and this is why I'm starting to really appreciate this album more. And it only came out on Friday, So it's like imagine it coming out. Well, imagine it being already a year. I'm just like, wow, I really do love it. Point I'm trying to make here is that it's different. It's different from anything that has been around for this year, especially if you compare it to Old Town Road, which is going to be in my top 50 tracks, regardless of how many times it has been overplayed. I still have to add it because it's creative. I mean, come on, you add a you add a hip hop production on the track, and it's flawless. It's cool. On God is by far my favorite when it comes to how smooth the sound was. I mean, I don't understand why it's that song. I guess because you guys normally know me for my love and taste for a lot of electronic dance music. And it seems like on that track I was starting to vibe to it because it had that similarities to the sounds that I'm already used to hearing, and realizing that Pierre Bourne was on that production, that he made that, I come to question, why did I review his previous project? Because I did a review on his album that came out this year, a mixtape. I don't know what it was, but I guess, with the issue that I have with a lot of rappers doing the same thing, I guess that was the issue. He tend to do that, so I prefer him more as a producer than an actual artist. But I didn't really give it a bad review. Probably between 5 and 6. But if I bother checking back to the album, I'm probably gonna give it a lower score due to not me listening to the album as much. Opening on the track was beautiful. Not as memorable as Dark Fantasy classic, but this opening was more of obviously God open up. This is me now. I want you to forgive me for the things that I have done. Is basically what the opening sounds like. You go into it, and it don't. Me personally, it doesn't sound as gospel as what people like. Oh my God, this is the new Kanye. I'm not used to the sound, but people will get used to it. I mean, come on, Kanye. It's Kanye. He by now. I'm pretty sure people will get used to him using different materials by now. But it seems like people are not there yet. On that day, I got off, my PlayStation. I was like, all right, let me take it serious because this is my job. And I want to make sure I'm right about what I say about this particular album that I just released. I took time since it did take a while for Kanye to make this. I wanted to respect the work that he has done because through the previous years, he also has done incredible sounds and beautiful tunes that I really love to vibe to. And this is another perfect example of that. I look back into it a lot of time. Even before I was doing this review, I checked back and seeing if there were anything that I could probably discuss that I seem to have a huge discredit for it. But nothing was able to pop up in my head that I really hate, and I just don't see why. And I'm probably gonna have an issue with a lot of people when it comes to their album reviews on why they have a minor pick when it comes to this project, but honestly, I see why. I can't really judge because music is subjective, and at the end of the day, music is music, regardless how you actually feel about it. But this album kind of changed a bit on how I personally feel about any work that rappers do. I tend to appreciate it more. So, what I'm gonna give this album, I'm honestly gonna give it a 8.9 out of 10 improvement. You're probably wondering and asking me, why didn't I just give it a 10 out of 10 if I had nothing bad to say about the album? Because I don't want to give an album 10 out of 10 this early on in this decade. And there has been a lot of pretty solid albums that came out that people don't bother checking out this year, especially Freddie Gibbs' Bandana, which was one of my favorite albums this year and one of my most anticipated albums. This was another anticipated album this year. I gave that a 9.5, and I guess that was the closest to a 10 out of 10, but I didn't. It's too early for me to review an album and just give it a 10 out of 10. Besides the EP that I gave on my favorite EDM producer, this is more of a hip hop topic, and this channel people is going to know me for hip hop regardless of what I actually do on the channel. So that's why I didn't give it a higher score, was because yeah, I'm just getting started. I don't see why would I do it now if people aren't going to watch me now then in the future. So yeah, Let's talk about Kanye West now. Like this is actually the one of the main topics I wanted to discuss. He mentioned how he wasn't going to perform his older sounds because of how he went crazy. I mean, he is still going crazy, but it's more like since this is devil music, it's time for me to let that go. This is me now, and I want to improve so much. I, me personally, since I know Kanye throughout the years, like ever since me personally, I felt like ever since the passing of his mother affected him more because I understand what it feels like, losing a loved one, especially that loved one is someone who raised you to be the man you are today. And the way how he's going from his perspective, things have been going on. I don't know what to do. I just lost someone that's been around with me since forever, and that kind of created the 808s and heartbreaks. He had an issue with his girl that year of the album released, and then from there, 2009, he had an issue with. Well, people had an issue with him ever since that Taylor Swift discussion, and people called him rude for that. So he took a year off a break of that. Then we got the classic album, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which oh my god, it's one of my favorite albums. And then from there, throughout the years, Kanye has been going here and there. People have been criticizing him for, especially the Donald Trump thing, how him and Donald Trump are really cool now. He went to the office of Mr. Trump, and things has happened from there. Personally, I honestly don't care at this point. As long as you create music for me, I will. It's fine. I don't really care. But I really hope at the end that he's okay. He's fine because I have respect for this artist, regardless of how insane or insanity he's has been. I really hope something could happen. I hope he gets the help that he needs, especially his wife and kids. I hope they're fine as well, but mainly him because I know what it feels like to lose that person. So yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's discussion. How do you feel about Jesus King? Do you really enjoy it? Is it a good album? Do you not like it? Tell me why in the comment section down below, and peace.